we don't have sound, we don't have sound. But I trust the synchronicity of the divine in my life. Bismillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge in God from the accursed shaitan. Satan is working even now, sending things up that don't ever come up on his computer. Well, I want to do this ZIYERE to my master, my Serigne. Serigne, AFIA, and Madhi was many things to me, but before I get into that, it was in my heart to do a drum ZIYERE to him today. And I waited for God to confirm that some kind of way. And I was sitting here thinking about doing it and the confirmation to it, and then all of a sudden pops in my box a message from the wife of Serigne, AFIA, one of his wives, one of his beautiful wives, Shaikh, Jara. And it was kind of mind-blowing. It reminded me of the thing in the book of Acts where some folks was praying for somebody to get out of jail. And while they were praying, that person was knocking at the door because the prayer had already been answered. I use everything that God has given me. But I think the worst sin is not to live up to all the knowledge. It's not smoking a cigarette. It's not fornicating. All those are some things that you do harm to yourself. Those are called sins. That word hamartia in the Greek, Koine Greek of the New Testament is deep. It really means to miss the bullseye. It's translated as sin. It really means to miss the bullseye. You're not hitting dead in the center, where you should be in your life, in your speech, in your thoughts, man, in your actions. When you do this self-inventory, this what is called in the way of Tasawwuf, it's called muraqaba, self-introspection. You really want to live a spiritual life. It is a life of discipline, but if you don't know anything but some scriptures, you don't know the discipline. You just know something. I hope the camera will stay still while this is going on. It wants to act a Negro tonight. A Negro up on the corner drinking wine at Community Spirits liquor store. I'm not trying to start playing Jack yet. I just wanted to see something. Yeah, it's not going to do what I wanted to do, which is to go down lower, but still get me. I'm not a cameraman yet. But back to my story. I knew tonight I was to do the video, but I didn't want to be over anxious about that either. Because I don't want to be the one that is in control of the plan. And I don't mean to sound strange. I'm not talking about being possessed by no jinn spirit or nothing like that. But to wait for God to move upon the waters or the face of the waters of your soul at crucial moments in your life is important to know how to do that. And to do that, you need a master to teach you about the master in yourself. It is also a slave. A slave and a master at the same time is in conflict. Serigne, AFIA, and I had a deep, intimate relationship. So deep that when he was leaving the body and was very ill, I felt his pain and I heard him calling for me without a telephone. He wanted me to do Sindidi for him again. He missed me. And Serigne, AFIA don't give anybody his hockey card ring. That just not something that he done. So people that wish to come to the station with that kind of disrespect, you getting something, you're casting something into a mirror that's going to come back and it's going to shatter you. You can't come to me with anything less than you came to Serigne AFIA with, because I'm the one he blessed. And tonight I do have on the master's mantle. Not because I'm ever worthy of that. That's that grace between the closing of the eyelids for me. And I'm not trying to see people. I'm trying to see more God. Serigne AFIA knew how to melt my pain. He knew how to melt it into joy. And he knew how to do it instantly. Without words, even sometimes. I remember once I went to him and I was upset, man, because I had spent the night before coming to this compound, his compound. I spent the night somewhere else. A couple of nights I had spent somewhere else trying to get to him, and I had all this baggage. I had brought 2 or 3 suitcases full of my clothes and things, you know. And so I had cameras inside and everything. So I knew they were going to steal. I knew this, and so I left the bags. Somehow I got to Serigne AFIA without the bag. And I was sitting in front of him, and I was all worried about these bags. And Serigne AFIA would just look at me, and he just kind of move his head like this. And then he would just smile. He would smile at me. And it's like when he would do that, it was not about making sense with the rational mind. He was like touching a part of you that didn't have anything to do with your thinking process. It had to do with you knowing something about yourself. It's like, and when I did get my bags, that's right, they stole my camera. They stole this and they stole that. Because they think you're coming from America, you're all rich. They think everybody in America is rich. Seriously, that's how they think. Woo, Daffodolf, that's what they call it. Anyway, we're not going into that. But that's what's in the story too. But if we have sound, he was many things to me. He was, in one way, he was like a father to me. And in another way, he was like a mother to me. Then there were times he was like my best friend. My buddy. He didn't have that kind of relationship with everybody. He had a different one with everybody. But he loved everybody. He'd always tell his disciples, say, Ibrahim is full of love. Ibrahim is full of love. And I look at myself, I am. I don't know. But Serigne said that, so you always tell him that. And sometimes I would get so happy when I was seeing a state would come over me, and to them, crying is something maybe to be ashamed of, but in my culture, it's not. And I never allow people to make me be what they want anything to be that's coming out of me. But my joy would be mixed with just my humility and my happiness in seeing that I would go down to his feet. I would go down to his feet because I did not see a man's feet. In those moments, I saw only a man who was stationed close to God. And I knew that in my heart, when that state would come over me, I would be blessed by being that way. And it got to the point because he knew where my heart was. He wouldn't let me do that. He would come to me before I could do that and grab me and hold me in my arms and start dancing with me while I'm producing for him. And the last time I saw him, I waited all day to see him. He wasn't feeling well, and we were way out in the other compound, and we had to get back to Rockmity, and somebody hollered out. I was on the road trying to get back to Rock. Somebody hollered on the road and said, Serigne calling you. Serigne calling you. And Serigne AFIA was standing across the highway in the dark with his arms stretched out to me. And I hurriedly went to him. And he held me in his arms and he kissed me. He kissed me on my cheek and everything. And then he put me in the car and he drove. And that's something he don't normally do with people. But he did it with me. He made sure I got back down to Rockington that night. And that night he went. He does something he don't do. He don't usually go down to Rockington. He went in because I told him I wanted to do his father's um, wazifa, the wazifa prayer I had that came from the spirit of Serigne and back in his father. And though he couldn't speak English and understand English, I recited the poem to him in English, and he felt the energy and he felt the presence of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe Allah exalted and glorified. And he wept. And we both wept. I never seen him in such joy. And it's telling me, I don't know if I ever saw that in him either. We stepped outside the gates of Rhino Rockmati, and he gave me his hockey card ring, and he held me in his arms. And that was the last time I saw my son. So I told him that I knew many. I told many that I knew he was leaving and to go Sierra. And they all had excuses as to why they could not see my Serigne. But Allah knew they would have those excuses before they came up with it. And Allah had already dealt with those excuses long before he ever created them. Whatever retribution that brings forth, you know, because I begged them to go. They all had excuses. But that's just a part of the story. That's not a part of my emotional being anymore. I don't care. You know, I mean, it's okay. That's what happened. Let God deal with it. I'm sure He will. We all reap what we sow, all of us. And once we learn that lesson, we stop sending out stuff. We stop doing certain things. Until then, we're really stupid. I don't care how old you are, how many degrees you have. There's a hikmah and a wisdom that doesn't come from this world. It doesn't come from without you either. Understand me, everything that is out there, scientists and quantum physics and astronomy have all proven that the mystics were right. What's happening out there is it's all happening from within yourself. And certain people would lack certain knowledge in both Islam and in Christianity. They talk so foolish sometimes. They talk against the development of the inner being like it's of the devil. It's only of the devil if you are inverted. If your intention is inverted, then you invert the knowledge. You invert these experiences that you have. If you can see into the future, why you put that on the devil? Why don't you put it on God? Because He said He created man in His image after His own likeness, I think it says in the book of Genesis. Or is it, how is it pronounced? Bereshith? Bereshith. Something like that. I'll get with my Hebrew buddy on his videos. I know he'll teach me what the right way to say it. Because I knew some Hebrew, but I've forgotten some of my Hebrew. The more I associate myself back with it, it comes back. What was put in me, what I accessed years ago when I was reading everything. Now I don't read anything but a couple of books, a couple of important. But I have a zillion out there that I did. I said, I'm looking at them. It's like what I had to go through in order to learn that I didn't need them to begin with. But anyway, this is a musical Sierra to somebody that I have so much love for. And if I start talking about it, I'll start crying again. And I don't want to do that tonight. Because you wouldn't understand my tears. Saint Tuba wrote a book. Is it called Hook a Book, or something like that? I have it here. I can't pronounce the Arabic right now. Arabic Wolof. I had that book. I was just looking at it. Hold on for a minute. And if I can't even find it though, you can never find anything when you really want it. So you notice that things always show up when you don't want them. That's when you find. That's what you find. Find what you're looking for. It shows up when you're looking for something else. You know. So I was looking for my comb, and now I found my glasses. Okay. When I was looking for my glasses, I found my comb, but I couldn't find my glasses. So I don't know. I look at these things. That's what it was. Blaming that shit. Thomas. This is my SIAM'S, AFIA, and back it. And Sock and fade me. Allah bless you in every way. I'm glad that Allah has made it possible for us to be friends on Facebook. I hope you can understand my English. I see you, Madam Sock and fade. And then I'm back. I'll be back as well. Mbaki. Back it. My prayers, my blessing, my request of prayers all the time to be in the world of Serene Alpha and back. He blessed me with his Alpha, Stone ring. So, even when this is not on my finger, his ring is on my finger because he put it on my finger. In the baton. This is the ZIYERE that you see. But in my heart, he put his ring around. So when you see me, you see Serene Alpha and Baki. You give to Serene Alpha and Baki his due respect, his due ZIYERE. Through Serine's SIAM, that he made Serene and told you that his blood was in Baki. How shall you come to Serene Alpha? But he's given me this grace, his grace. The reason why Serene Salute prayed over each one of my fingers because he knew I would play the zither box drum one day. And he blessed my fingertips. He blessed my fingers, each one. But until now, I did not understand why Serene took my hand that day and took each one of my fingers and blessed them their way. When I play with the mantle of the KADIM, it's not about me. And I'm talking to my Mu'min brothers and sisters. Do not blaspheme the mantle of Serene Salute and Baki. Do not blaspheme the mantle of Serene Salute and Baki, which is the mantle of Serene Tuba, Kadimaru, Rasulullah, Kadimu Rasulullah, which is the mantle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If he's the Kadim or the Kadimu Rasul of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then his mantle is the mantle of Muhammad. And I'm not the only one in the world that wears the mantle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You bring me book, I'll bring you direct experience that confirms what's in the book that you don't understand because you're dealing with the book with you. You haven't dealt with it with you. So, SHYAM'S ZITHER. Ibrahim and Shaitan. SHYAM'S ZITHER. قمري ذات لهب والنهار إذا جلها والليل إذا أغشاها والسماء وما بناها وأرضي وما طحاها وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Go read Surah SHYAM'S about the soul and see what it says about the soul. And I don't have any notes. I have nothing hanging out of my I didn't know nothing. I was just gonna play the ZIYERE. I was gonna ZIYERE my Shaikh. And I did. This is something I've been wanting to get out of me a long time. And I don't know how this sounded, because I haven't heard it. I didn't practice it. Support this in every way you can and be blessed. You'll be increased. You bless this mantle, you'll be increased. And you can look in my eyes and see there's nothing fake about me. Why does it scare you when somebody's real? But you're comfortable with a bunch of liars and a bunch of fake people. You're comfortable with them. If I put on a big, gigantic garment tomorrow and start running down the streets talking about I'm this and I'm that, the whole world will follow me. My beard dragging the ground, I'm talking in some foreign language, looking all stupid and dumb to you, you'll think that's wonderful. Oh, man, yeah, good. No, I didn't ask you for that. I asked you to help me help some children. And I told you I'm ready to leave. Ain't nobody got to do nothing to me. Because I'm sick of what I see. You won't be what you were created to be. And I'm determined. I'm going to, this dog inside of us, this beast. You had to be like that one saint. He never did kill the dragon. What was his name? St. George. We leave great teaching in these symbols. And maybe there was a real St. George. I don't know. He had a spirit, a long one. He had the dragon's head down on the ground, pinned. If the dragon was still alive, he had to keep that spear on that dragon's head, or he'll raise up on you. That's your lower nature. What happens to you when you let it devour you? And all the pleasure and so-called joy that it brings you. You're a foolish person that built your house on quicksand. We don't have any time to be building no houses on quicksand, and death is in front of you, and you do everything you can to act like it's not. And everybody's in a hurry. Look at them speeding everywhere. They all in a hurry to get to the same place. As I said before, they're just going to get there at a different time, because time, you created that. In the end, you're going to get there all together as one. It's called the graveyard. It's called the graveyard. And since you and I don't know when death is coming, can you and I afford to act like we do? I ain't worried about nothing squeezing my soul all up out of my chest, as I heard in the Kubat last time I went to a masjid here. Everybody was sitting there all petrified and terrified of this man's Kubat. I mean, that ain't the God I met. I didn't meet something squeezing my soul up out of my chest. The God I met in this room when I was 16 years old was full of love and glory and power and immensity of grace and graciousness and awesomeness. You tell me what you believe. Anything you believe in, somebody can make you doubt it. But when you become Arafin rather than Mukmeen, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. And that doesn't mean you're perfect. That doesn't mean you've reached Insane Camille when you get there. For there are forever levels of ascension and levels of perfection. It's endless as Allah, as God, as Yahweh, whatever you come up with. You're too intricate. You're more intricate than any computer Gates made. And you know it has a creator. How stupid are you? If you know the computer has a creator, and it's less complicated than you, then you know you have one. Honey, you are my shining star. Don't you go away. Oh, baby, 'cause I wanna be right here where you are until my dying day. Oh, sugar, I could never live, excuse me, my life without you, girl. I give my love to you only, to you only, honey, you are my shining star. Don't you go away. Oh, oh, babe, oh, baby. I don't know if I'm gonna show this video now or not. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Namaste, Nagadev, Barakani, Yabiyagan, Shanti, Namaste. Hotep, Amnio Lingakyo, Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. All praise to the creator of the heavens and the earth, who made all mankind of diverse colors and religions and attitudes and customs and rituals. If you did not create them too, then you're not the creator of all. And there's more than one creator. Well, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. There is no God but God. La ilaha illallah. There is no one but the one. And you can take that into many deeper levels of understanding and interpretation of understanding. For Allah is veiled by 70,000 veils of light, and you can't even deal with one veil, and yet you're talking like you have been through all 70. What? All praise be to the Most High God of heaven and earth, creator, sustainer, the maker, the Bari, the creator, the Khalik, the Lord, the Ra, who watches over his eggs. She watches over her eggs, the robin does, like a bird watching over the eggs that have been conceived and brought forth until they are kept in her incubator, her warmth, until they come to fruition and fullness. They pass through stations of conditions to reach a stage of consummation. I'm not talking Darwin's jump. I'm not talking that at all. I'm talking the ancient science that's at the base of all great mystical systems, including Islam, Christianity, and any other entity that I've studied. And you can do with that what you want. Those who want to Sharia, you need a foundation, because you need a law, because you're a lawless individual. You won't stop at the traffic light. If you don't have a traffic light, you'll just go through it and you'll hit James and John and everybody else. He's so damn selfish, and you're going to get to where you got to go no matter what. So the law was made for you. You need the Sarr to slap you upside your head. But a saint don't need that. When it comes to the intersection and doesn't see a stoplight, it's going to think about the other person before he or she thinks about themselves. Because they want for their brother and sister what they really want for themselves. Think about it. I didn't say you didn't need the Sarr. It wasn't there, and it was not. It was to be abrogated. That's not what I said. It's don't put any words in my mouth. So you don't understand its use. You really think you can work yourself to God. You think you got a brownie point system. God don't owe you nothing after you bring him all your gold. He don't owe you nothing but destruction if his mercy seat don't cover you. The totality of God will consume you in his glory without mercy and grace. And that's why over every surah, before every surah in the Quran, it says, Bismillah, Ibrahim, Rahim. He's always calling you grace and mercy. You're the one that call yourself the wrath. The wrath is always impersonal. But you make it personal. Because you're determined to do what you want to do rather than what the Lord is telling you in your inner being. You need a verse of scripture to tell you it's wrong to have sex with your mother. Isn't there something in your soul that tells you that's wrong? Isn't that scripture written in your nature? It was sent as a reminder to people who went to sleep and forgot what is written in their own divine nature. So they needed words to wake them up. Not for you to quote all day like a parrot with no power. That goes for me and anybody else. They all come to me before they get to you. All the messages. What do you do with yours? Why you keep asking me where God is? Where is your breath? To all my mystic lovers and my true supporters, I thank you. Those that make prayer for SIAM, I thank God for you. And for those that understand SIAM, alhamdulillah, I thank God for you. And those that don't, alhamdulillah, I thank God for you. You can only understand what you're capable of understanding at any given time and space. And that's not my problem. And my problem is just to be the unique me that God made me to be out of 8 billion people. You should read a poem called Desirata. Find it online, Desirata. Read it. They don't know who wrote it. They found it in church, they said. Desirata, Desirata. El Topo, El Topo. Jitty boo boo, Jitty boo boo. I love you.